Hello, 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 my trippy hippies. It is Tammy coming to you live today or tonight. And I got to make sure I don't say good morning and that I don't say this Sunday morning, right? It is definitely Sunday evening. And as you jump on here this evening, do me a favor, say hello, tell me where you're watching from, and drop a grateful fed in the comments. And while you're doing that, I need to tell y'all something. It's fall, y'all. It's fall, y'all. And it has definitely felt like fall the last couple of days. So as you jump on here, please do me those favors below. It helps get the live up in the algorithm. It helps other people find us. And that is doing me a favor that costs nothing other than a little hi, how you doing? What's up, Amanda Giorgetti, watching from Clearwater, Florida? I'm glad you're here. What is up, everybody? So glad y'all are here today. We are going to be doing Sunday sermon, right? Just a little bit later than what we normally do it. Today is Sunday, and for those of you that don't know, right, I have a brother who is incarcerated. One of my big reasons about plants over pills. He was very much a victim and a perpetrator because he wouldn't be in jail if he didn't do something wrong. But he was very much someone who fell prey or fell victim to the opioid crisis and the pills and the heroin and then the spiral from there, right? And I preach all the time. I say I'm preaching because I do. I preach all the time about how if you stop reading people's story in the chapter where things get kind of crazy, you really do miss some amazing endings and some amazing books because you kind of get caught up in the bad parts. And there are a lot of us that are here in the Grateful Fed, to include myself, that there are times and there are things in my life that I would not want to be judged on today or be held to the fire to today, because who I was then is not who I am now, and everyone is allowed to an opportunity to have redemption, right, and to heal themselves, because whenever we're acting crazy and things are not going right in our life, what we need to look at when we see people that are having struggles, right? When we look at those people and we see people that maybe are still an active addiction, people who are still maybe living in relationships that we don't understand and we wish they wouldn't be. There are people who are living in chaos right now. And a lot of us, a lot of the people in the world, I'm not going to say us because this community does not do that, but a lot of people tend to see those situations, and they're versus trying to help, they try to just say, to gossip about it or to talk about it or to get to spill the tea on it or to kind of like mock that chaos, or to tell people how that person deserves that chaos or how that chaos was brought upon themselves. And I didn't know we were going. I have a whole different sermon written. But this came and just it's coming in. And it's kind of like being the people who watch elderly people or homeless people or anybody for that matter get abused or hurt or injured or something awful happen, and you're holding the camera, right? Versus getting at, when we see those videos on the Inside Editions and the news and the TikToks and all these crazy places, um, my reaction is that, in this crazy world, I'm like, I'm watching this through a lens, and I can't, because it's almost like being um an accomplice, because the person holding that camera had the ability to intervene and to get involved and to stop that, whatever that thing is, from happening. So when we are looking out at the world, right, and we see people struggling, I think that, number one, I get that, it's not always your business, right? But if you want to be a front row spectator and you want to spill, if you have the, and this is for the lack of a better word, the audacity. Good morning. Good afternoon. See, hello, hello. Thank you for jumping on here. Hello, tell us in the comments below. I was talking about going to see my brother and how talking about redemption and people in this world need to give people a second chance. My brother's, has not always been an amazing person, but he's not always been a horrible person either. And we live in a world where a lot of people are still struggling through chaos. And then I think it is our duty, if we have the audacity to talk about it, if we know them well enough, to know the players in the game, to eat the popcorn and to take a side, then we need to have the audacity to get involved and try to be of help. And I'm not saying that that means interject your person, but I am saying that number one, you stop talking about it, start being about it, and you start holding space and sending healing energy and not take sides and just say, I'm holding space that this chaos comes to an end. Because what you're seeing in the world right now is a lot of hurt people, a lot of unhealed, and a lot of people in need of love and light. Right. And thank you, Amanda, for asking that. I need to talk to you offline. My brother is so ridiculous. So I'm gonna just joke about this a little bit. My brother is so funny. He's like, can you get somebody just to talk to me? He's like, I'm in jail. I can't mess with them. I can't send them no dirty pictures. And I'm not that kind of pervert anyhow. He says, but I just would like a female to just talk to, like to send her a text every day on the chaos, like, good morning, beautiful, just to have somebody to talk to. And then I don't know, back when I first met Amanda, she said that she went to school with my brother and I. I was much older than Amanda, but she remembers my brother. He's even a little older than her. Yes, he was. That's what he was like. He's like, look at that girl I went to school with. Think she need my pen pal? I said, how do I approach one of my female friends and be like, so my brother, he's got like 20 more years in jail, but like, are you looking to hang out? I'm like, what do you say to somebody? So, Amanda, hit me up offline. I will send you his kiosk information. He would love to be your pen pal. Like, that's a very hard conversation to have with someone. It's just kind of weird. But my point is that um, in being with my brother today, it reminded me that a lot of times we see things in the world happening, and we tend to want to like put our opinion on it. We want to put our judgment on it. We want to put our programming on it, right? It is not our responsibility to judge other people. Now, I do say there's a couple of things we should do. Number one, um, chaos energy does not belong in my energy field. So there's a lot of people that I work with that have chaos. So what I do is I say I'm learning to like put them in a bubble and that chaos stays in that world, right? I can definitely like, okay, I'm gonna pull this bubble around this. And whenever I deal with this, it's like a little cone, like a shield, right? I walk in there with my little energy shield and I'm like, okay, what's going on? How may I be of assistance? Like where can I help without it coming into my energy field? So I don't want anybody to think that I'm saying go out and start being like good Samaritans and like be a good Samaritan if you can be a good Samaritan, but you know what I mean. Like, don't go and interject your person if you shouldn't. Don't add to the chaos, is what I'm saying, right? But I am saying when we are seeing these people in the world who are having active problems, that we need to take a deep breath and literally, like, just it's kind of like sending them a prayer. Like when you say, I'm going to pray for them, and that's what I'm going to tell you to do, like, pray for them. And that's what I do. In the evenings when I sit down at the end of the night and I say, okay, let me just give gratitude and be present in my gratitude for my day, and let me call back my energy from all the places that may have grabbed it and held on to it, not let it go. And then let me also send some source energy. Let me gather some Reiki, love, light, healing, and let me project that out into the people who I know need it. And I send it out to like anybody who may need it. I'm sending it out to like a general population. And then I say some specific individuals and situations and names and things like that. I also do that, and I just posted with the whole like, are you going to tune in and say hi to me about how you shouldn't cook in a bad mood, about energy into your food. So when I tell you that the food is Reiki infused, we call caramels calming caramels. So we stir calm into those caramels. It's the same kind of idea, right? It's the idea of intentionality of holding space to send out love and light and to be of assistance. that is the kind of way that I'm asking you to maybe, help the situation out. I do think that if someone's getting like attacked, that you need to like put the phone down and try to get help or try to stop it or call for help or to be a bigger presence than just look at this crazy stuff happening. Because that to me is just all kinds of just, I don't know. It's really starting to bother me the things that people will film without feeling the need to help the person they're watching. I feel like there's times when I want to jump to the camera and I'm like, why is there people watching this and no one helping? So in a world full of watchers, be a doer. I don't know. I guess that's the preemptive message. But there's a couple more of you jumped on here. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us today. That message came out of nowhere right before I came live. I took a deep breath and I was like, whatever the message is from you today, please make me a clear and perfect channel. That message came out. I have one prepared for today. I have one prepared for today. And it was not about that at all. And I apologize if we went off on a weird tangent. But if you can do me a favor, if you are jumping on here, it just, again, helps me out with the algorithm. If you can say hello and tell me where you're watching from, if you're jumping on here. If you're a part of, I'm live in a couple of places. I'm live in the Hometown Hippie business page, which is kind of a public page. And then I'm public in the Hometown Hippie or the Tammy Nelson YouTube channel, which is going to be a little bit more beefed up coming up. And then I'm also live in our Grateful Fed private community page, which is our Hometown Hippie Elevated Edibles private Facebook group. So if you're a part of that group, if you're part of the private Facebook group, drop me a Grateful Fed in the comments. And if you're not a part of the Grateful Fed in the comments, ask me how to become a Grateful Fed member, because you're going to want to be a Grateful Fed member because we've got lots of cool things happening. And that's what the message is about today. The message about, I actually titled the video, right? The Grateful Fed is showing up and showing out. Who else is a Grateful Fed member here today? And then I love it. Amanda Georgetti's a Grateful Fed member. I love that so much. But today's topic was about, can somebody tag Heather Johns? I can't believe she's not in here yet. She might be driving or doing dinner. I know it's a weird hour. It is Sunday night sermon, right? And so the title of today's sermon was It Takes a Village. And I wanted to kind of explore that because I've been kind of, I was like, oh, look, somebody else is coming in, but it's Sarah tagging Heather for us. It is about our community, right? It's about the fact that it takes everyone working together to accomplish, right? Many hands make light work. I say that all the time. I've been saying that for years about things. I'm like, if we all just chipped in, and whenever Evan and Megan, which are my two stepchildren, which I don't call them step, just my bonus kids, right? Whenever Evan and Megan, we had them, both full time. Very short period, we had both of them, but we had Evan forever, but we had Megan for a very short time. And there was always like, when you have teenagers in the house and the husband and all the things, there's always a lot of chores to do. And so one of my goals, like, hey, Melissa, I'm so glad you jumped on here. Y'all send some Melissa some love. She has a little Rainbow Bridge thing. We want to send her some love and light, and we want to hold space for Melissa. She's going to be retreating with us, ladies. So say hi to Melissa. There's a lot of retreat ladies on here, Melissa. Grateful Fed, what's up, Dennis? And I love Dennis. I'm glad he's on here too. But we would, I'm like, there's like 8 things that need to be done, right? There's like, everyone's responsible for their own bedroom. Evan and Megan took turns with their bathroom that they shared, and Red and I handled our situation. There's like the dusting, the sweeping, the vacuuming, the windows, the wiping down counters, the cleaning out. There's like 8 staple things that you do when you do your little housework. I made 8 things, right? And so we then put 8 chores into a basket. And I was like, look, if you look at it where you're like making it a big deal, you hem and haw all day about having to do chores and figuring out who's going to do what, right? I was like, all 4 of us live in the house. All 4 of us should have to spend some time doing our chores. And when our chores are done, when our responsibilities are taken care of, right? Yay! We can then go do whatever we want to for the rest of the weekend. Because like, why do we have to do something? Because here's the thing, right? It's important to have rest and relaxation. And my thinking around this has changed since then. But my thought process whenever I was raising the kids, when we were home together, was that everyone deserves some rest and relaxation, including me, right? I worked 5 days a week. I drove an hour each way. And I found myself spending every weekend letting everybody, they had plans in the morning and they wanted to go run with friends and Red wanted to go fishing. And everybody had things to do, but the house needed to be clean. And that was just what I did. And I had resigned myself to that, right? That's what I did. And I finally was like, you know what? I'm not in the house, but like an hour a day. Why am I doing everything? So I said, everyone's large enough and grown enough to wash their own clothes. So I assigned everyone based on their activity schedule a day that was their laundry day. I worked out of town. Saturday and Sundays were mine, right? Look, I fixes my name. Um, look, it says Facebook user. I'm not sure. Hello, glad I had checked my phone. I'm not showing who that is, but I'm glad you're here, whoever it is. Um, and so what we did was is we assigned we everybody got a laundry day, and that was the day that that person had to do their laundry. And if you did not do your laundry on that day and someone else's another day and you need your clothes washed, tough luck because you should have had your laundry done on your day. You have a day. Um, I'm sorry. And so then we had these 8 chores. So each Friday evening or Saturday morning, we would pull a Jennifer and Lisa. Woo woo. So we would pull a chore and then we see what our chore was, and we would go around, and everyone would end up with 2 things to do. And it got to the point where we had so much fun because number one, many hands make light work. And it was a way to show the children and everybody in the house that we all live here. We are a community. It takes if we, dream teamwork makes the dream work, right? A way for us to all to put just a little bit of effort in to make everything really easy. We had a lot of fun doing it. And we we thrived, and it was probably that's some of our best family memories, joking each other, and like if you had to wait for somebody to do like one thing before you could do your thing and all of the stuff, and with the kids, I think there was interesting lesson as well in learning how like a house would actually like get cleaned in what order because you realize like until this is done that isn't done. And so like if Megan wanted to go with her friends somewhere and she had mop and vacuum, but Evan had sweep and dust. She and Evan would make sure to like do all of the things he had to do before she could do the thing to get her stuff done. So they would learn how to like negotiate. Like, okay, well, my 2 things go better together. Can I have sweep and mop so I can get my chore and get it done? And then I'm done. The floors are done. I'm done. Right. And so it's I wasn't allowed to go until the chores are done, right? Yes. And so this way, they were able to problem solve for themselves. They and their like how much time, recreational time that they got on the weekend was solely control. Like they fuck around and find out chart, right? Like you want to take all day to get it done, then you get less time to be out with your friends. If you get up, it's okay. I'll see you. It's fine. We can say Facebook user, no big deal. Um, and it was their decision, right? It was also the fact that they wanted free time. They could get up in the morning, grab their chores, get them done, and be done. Or they could want to be lazy and lay around all day, and then everyone else is done, and then they get to be home doing their chores. But my thought process was it showed them, number one, that you have to take care of responsibilities before you could, kind of have all the fun you wanted. But as an adult, right, we realize that programming is so weird for like when you do, you can get. So I'm really journaling around that whole like idea of that. But that is my it's StreamYard. It also might depend on where you're watching me from, which group, all of the things. So it's technology, and we know that all is well and all is in divine time. I'll put it up there. You can click. They can tell me who it is. It's no big deal. I was a much older child. In the summer, I recruited my friends to help me with chores. We were done. We could go to our pool. We could use our pool business woman at 12. I love that, Heather. I love that. So if there's a miss that says Heather said that I was the much older child. In the summer, I recruited my friends to help when my chores were done. then they could use our pool. So one of the things that's interesting that the reason that I really wanted to teach Evan and Megan about cooperation and all of that is because growing up for me, it was about like it wasn't like a like please do your chores. It wasn't like here's your it was like I did the chores. Like it was my responsibility. Like as a kid, my parents worked. My mom was like, we need to do I did grocery shopping. And I took a lot of the slack because I, number one, am OCD to an extent about cleaning when I was that age. It was a real big like control thing for me. And my brother and sister were not cleaners. My brother better than my sister, but my sister was a slob and we shared a room. So it was easier for me just to do it than to argue with her about doing it. And so I found myself, I could not. Yeah, I was not an only child, but I did everything for my younger siblings. And no, I cannot. But it's okay. It's okay. We'll figure it out. No big deal. Um, some people have blocks. I'll get the details on how to get that to work for you. So when we talk about, it takes a village, and I was just telling these couple examples. The thing that I really wanted to talk about, right, with the it takes a village, is about how we have been for the last year now, right? Oldest, right? Oldest. Um, my mom and dad both worked, and since I was the oldest, I had to work to do before I played. I think that's, here's the thing. My sisters threw everything out the window on the roof. I wish you had been my sister. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I was much nicer. You were the messy one. Yeah, I am not the messy one. I am definitely the very like everything as a place one. And so I just made it my purpose to like clean everything for everybody. My mom was also very much a messy person. Like her and my sister were peas in a pod. And so for me, I was like, I can't. I'm like, okay, look, I appreciate you trying, Mom. I was like, but I will take care of this for you. But we have been talking about these last several months about planting the garden, right? About our responsibility to our community, to our village, right? Our village we're building here, the Grateful Fed community, has been like we can't we can lead people to water, but we can't make them drink. And the analogy that I had is about plant the seed, right? Plant the seed, say what you need to say, do the things you do, right? And then the way that you water it and the way that you put sunshine on that seed is by living by example and leading by example. So if you plant the seed, then walk the walk and talk the talk. And that's all you can do. You have to allow the universe and that person's higher self and their ego to battle it out to see if they grow up in your garden, right? So we have been planting the seeds. We have been talking about the power of one. We have been talking about it takes a village, about how we check in on each other, how we are growing this intentional community, right? And we talk about that by the power of one. And I feel like that has been my role over the last year. And that's what today It Takes a Village conversation is about. I'm glad so many of you are on here today because I started this community because I was looking for somewhere to, you kind of feel like you're a little awkward puzzle piece and you go to all these different places and you kind of almost fit. And it's interesting. It's kind of like the THC and the CBD molecule and the nerve endings, right? They kind of sit weird, right? The THC fits better, but the CBD does the medicine, and together they kind of make it connect and just fit perfect. And that's kind of the conversation today, right? I've planted the seeds, and the garden is growing, right? The garden is growing. We need patience. It takes time to grow. We need patience, and it takes time. Over the last year, I feel like that conversation to me, like my message, right, has been from source has been, if you build it, they will come. Just plant the seeds, live in it, do that. You're walking in integrity. You're doing all the right things, right? But the message lately, and I tell you, like I talk about, like how it's our responsibility to go intervene in chaos and like don't get involved in chaos. I have been having a lot of chaos within me, because that's what happens when you grow and you get bigger. As you grow, you go through this what's like growing pains, right? That's kind of what the chaos has been. It's been like, okay, we're here now. I'm going through this like creativity can sometimes look like chaos as well to me, right? Creativity when things get ready to like do some new things, it gets really uneasy. Anybody else like have a problem in that change phase, right? Like when things are changing, even seasonal, and it's been seasonal for me. But when things begin to change, we can feel it energetically, right? When like a routine gets messed up or something is not the way that it has been going, and we have to start adapting and changing. How many other people could I have in comments? Me, yes, no, maybe. Do you get a little chaotic inside? Feel a little anxious, a little antsy? That's a good way to put it, right? Get a little antsy, right? Yes, I like that. Get a little antsy. Um, I certainly have that because, and the weeds grow faster than the lovely flowers, and we have to be aware and thin those weeds. That's where to start the heart. Exactly, right? Um, and that's why what we are doing now to expand our garden. Okay, so what I'm doing now is we've got our like garden, right? And now we need to do some raised beds. So we have several people who are established plants in our garden who have agreed to take the Power of One message out and be official brand ambassadors for the Hometown Hippie. And we're adding to that group of people, right, as we go. And one of the things that we're going to ask the brand ambassadors to do is to go out and share our message and plant their seeds, right? Um, to start being their own hometown hippie, to grow where they are planted, to share the message of our community. And then we're going to start meeting some new members. So we have got 45 new members over this last week because, as you know, y'all have been doing this as a gift to me for my birthday. I've asked to grow our group to 1,000, right? And then whenever we got to 1,000, I got like, oh my gosh, we have 1,000 people. That means there's 1,000 people who, the seed has been planted, and now Source and God has told me it is my responsibility to water and to give sunshine, which is walking in integrity, and to lead and to live by example, and to be a good and faithful steward of the responsibilities that I've been given. And um I got a little antsy, right? I got a little antsy. um but when I am weak, each and every single one of you is strong, and that's what I'm talking about. It takes a village. So what I'm going to ask each and every person to do, right? I used to, yes, I've got better embracing change. I grow fast with leadership. That I like that. Like that is the goal, right? I love that positive self-talk as well. I used to get antsy, yes. But this person is working on that. And that's a piece of shadow work that I'm working on, right? And that's why I'm here today. And I love that. So embracing change and growing faster with least resistance. And that's what you want with gentleness, ease, and grace. And as we grow our community, I know that I can't meet and bring in every individual next new person, right? And that's why the brand ambassador program is so important for me. I have been invited to come to events and pop-ups and vendor places and all these things, right? All these things. And I was like, I feel like that is just very much like county fair feeling. And when I go to those things, the time that I enjoy is when I get to meet my community one on one, right? To have FaceTime with them one on one. And I love the conversations we have. I love the conversations we have. So it takes a village. And so I'm leaning into my village. I have got people who have joined us, and we're calling it the ganja incubator, right? The cannabis incubator with great ideas and coming in and like they're learning and I'm teaching them like trimming and terpene talk, and we're gonna teach them, right? We're gonna come in and we're gonna have a little can of college right here at the little our apothecary center. They're going to come in and they're going to exchange energy with me and they're going to work and we're going to create these amazing things. I have other people who are going to be creating items for our apothecary. That is our village. If you are a part of our village and you are watching me and you have something that you would like to feature at our hometown hippie Grateful Fed area, please let me know. Okay, so I am working with a lot of our family and Grateful Fed members to put jewelry items in, smudge blends and essential oils and pendulums and crystals and tarot cards and all of these things in place. So if any of you have any things that you would like to talk to me about putting into the store that aligns with our mission, with aligns with our energy, please let me know. It takes a village, right? But as all of these things happen, with all of this change happening, with all of the things that I am being called to do, I understand that it takes a village, right? There are people and the brand ambassadors. We're going to work on introducing them all this week. I would love for Dennis Casey to get us some shirts made for the store. I'm going to also get brand ambassador shirts made for the brand ambassadors. I'm getting kits put together. They can unlock their brand ambassador kit once certain things happen. I've got a whole idea, but it is all about the community, right? Building upon itself. The community, because it's the power of one, and this is how we build it. If you would like to become a brand ambassador, and embrace the power of one and learn how to become an advocate for cannabis, for edibles, for spirituality, in regards to edibles, as far as positive mindset and love and light energy, right? Then I am going to encourage you, right? Um, I learned to be a part of our brand program. Yeah, I learned about cannabis already from you, but I'm glad you did. Yes, they're going to be doing some new stuff here in the group. I want to talk to them in the hopefully in the next couple of days. We're going to hopefully find a time we can all get together. Um, oh, that's a good picture of me and Red from dinner last night. I might frame that one. I like that one. That's a good one. That's more us though, y'all. That's when the edible kicked in. But there's going to be new content. And here's the thing: we are a community. It takes a village. Not everyone that's watching today aligns with me. But I promise you, there's someone on our team that you will. They're all going to be able to help. They're all going to be able to answer questions. They're all going to be able um, to send some love and light energy out and to make sure our community is taken care of. And that's what this is about, right? It's about kind of finding like people who are kind of like, hey, in my stead, we have some people who really want to be able to step in and step up. So as we, plant the garden, we're planting the seeds. We're going to go out. We're going to spread the message of power of one, right? Through our brand ambassador program. We're going to keep spreading it here, right? Um, but when we start harvesting, right? When we are harvesting um, our community, that means when we start adding people and they start blooming up and we start seeing this it's for lack of a better word, the way that it has shown up to us. We've been doing these heart space meditations, and this group has got so much powerful energy in it. It looks almost like we're gonna light up like a cell phone like coverage map where they try to like get you to buy T-Mobile when it lights the whole country up and then all over the world. That's the goal, right? We're gonna spread the message of love and light, right? We're gonna spread the message of the power of one, that every day as an individual human being, you have the ability to go out and change the world for one person. And if we all go out and spread that message, we can hopefully go out, and it probably goes to the first part of this message is to help heal the chaos and raise the vibration of the collective. Because that's our ultimate goal, is to help as a community to raise our vibration, which collectively helps raise the vibration of the planet, raise the vibration of the world, the universe, whatever, right? One at a time. And again, I can't, the power of one, the more we go out and reach, so the brand ambassadors going to go try to reach some more people. That's how we're going to build our garden. And that's how we're going to harvest the community that we're trying to harvest, which is the one world community, right? The world community that we're all a part of the human race. We all deserve compassion and kindness. And that if we stop seeing hurt people, then we'll stop seeing people get hurt. Because I believe very, very much that hurt people hurt people. I know that there's negative energy out in the world, but the responsibility for me is to stop holding the camera and to watching the world burn, right? This is what I'm talking about. So I didn't know it was going to come together like this, but this is what we're about. This is why we're doing it. Plants over pills, right? We're going to come out and we're going to help teach people how to love themselves, right? That's the goal. You have to love yourself to love someone else. To be loved, you have to love yourself. Self love is not selfless. It's costs nothing to be kind, and just do your best. And I told the lady at the bank the other day, I was like, I was like, I live my life by being impeccable with my language if I can be. I'm as impeccable with my language as I can be, right? I do my best to do my best, right? Always do your best, right? I do not assume anybody is anything. I don't assume shit anymore. I'm learning that. And I try to take nothing personal. And I was like, but here's the key, that always do your best. And I was like, I am learning right now that some days my best ain't shit. And that's okay. And that's the day that I have to stop trying to change the world and start trying to change my attitude. That's why I say, even some days, that one person you go out and change is you, right? But it is important for us. We talk about seeing heinous things through the lens of a camera. We watch TikTok videos and reels and the news and Entertainment Tonight and whatever else comes on the TV with just heinous things happening in the world. And we sit there and we watch it, and we know that there's somebody filming it. And that person would rather tell you about it than do anything to maybe make this story different. Maybe the people got out of the car because you wouldn't broke the glass and got them out. Right? So we're going to, as the power of one, encourage each of you to have a conversation. If someone crosses your mind today that you think might be in some kind of like, I don't know, duress, or even not, maybe it's to hear a friendly voice. If someone crosses your mind intuitively, pick up the phone and call them, right? Our world is so broken. Start with yourself and the healing will spread. And that is the entire idea. That's why Heather embodies the power of one and the Hotopi message so very much. And my internet's probably stupid because it's doing that. Yes. So that's the message we're leaving you with today. We have a new brand ambassador program starting because it does take a village, and it takes a village for all the things. So if anybody would like to be a part of the apothecary, like a retail village, some people have things that they love to do. Other people do not. It's no big deal. But if you do, let me know. We're trying to get all the inventory starting to get set up. Trying to get it done. I'm trying to get stuff in there before the holidays. I feel like there's a good opportunity to make some good holiday money if people want to put those together. And I've got some ideas for people. So we're going to work together as a village to do all the things. Now, every Sunday morning we do a crystal affirmation card, which is our kind of our message for the week, our takeaway for the week. Gives us some journal prompts for the week. It's our message for as a collective from God, right? From Source or from Spirit, or whatever you want to call it. I call it Source usually. And we're going to do our crystal card now. I also want to take a second to tell everybody who sent me gifts and brought me gifts and showed up that y'all made my birthday week phenomenal. I I call this my own little personal year. We're ending it tonight with the full moon, and I'm gonna do a little full moon thing later. Trying to just get rid of the things. I'm gonna put some stuff out, the stuff that after the first 48 years are done with. We're going to wipe the slate clean. We're going to let go of some things and release some things that are no longer mine, that are no longer serving, and we are going to. I'm going to take some things out of my little thing over here from my new moon, and we're gonna pick that all back up. Right? Nothing is too small if you need to hear or uplifting conversation. Yes, we are always here. Card jumped out, so I guess that's the one tonight. You know how that goes. Rose quartz. Rose quartz. So as you go into the full moon tonight, the message from Source is to open up your heart. Rose quartz, open up your heart. I'm going to leave that right there. Let's see if I can get a little rose quartz to come out for me. I do want to thank y'all all, everybody who sent me birthday love online, who showed up. Y'all did make my week really phenomenal, and I really do appreciate y'all. I'm going to put this down because I don't have the hands. Let's focus back on me. I can't believe I did my hair 2 days in a row. I'm kind of like amazed by that. Okay, Open Up Your Heart by Rose Quartz. A reading by Rose Quartz. I'm just kidding. Remember your first love. It should be you. We just talked about this, right? Embrace radical, unconditional self-love. This will help guide you to a place of understanding, patience, and joy, which you can then share with others. By embracing unconditional love for yourself, you open up your heart to receiving the kind of love you need and deserve from others. So go ahead, fall head over heels in love with yourself. Only then will you be able to express that level of true love with that special someone. We just talked about the power of one, and every day, remember, like self-love is not selfish. It's step one. So as our garden is growing, we've added 45 people. It's interesting that Source reminds me to remind you to love yourself first. And I love that. Um, ooh, I love this affirmation. And this is the first start, right? And some of y'all are like, we just got that affirmation. And some of y'all are not doing it, even though it's an affirmation. I'm going to keep saying it. Apparently, Source is going to beam this over our heads till all of us do it every day. Maybe we should start a I love myself morning post. Somebody should just go every morning and start a live video trend where you say, I love you, Heather. And then they should come behind them and just every day say videoing yourself, saying in the mirror. We're going to start that tomorrow morning. Who wants to take control of starting that thread every morning? Core questions for your journal this week. What would it look like to show yourself unconditional love? I love that question. What does it look like to show yourself unconditional love? The reason you're going to answer that question in your journal is it's going to show you what you're asking for to be loved. It's going to show you where you think you're not worthy. It's why you're not. I'm telling you, write it down. Answer that question. What do you love about yourself? Here's the thing that's going to make me laugh, right? What you love about yourself is all that matters. That's the thing that makes you super special, and that you don't even see how special that part is. That's all I got to say about that. So we talk about nope, LOL, I love alone. Sheila. What would it look like to show yourself unconditional love? Write that down. What do you love about yourself? Write that down. And then your affirmations to look in the mirror and say this week, or stay in the shower with your eyes closed, whatever you need to do to make your shit happen. Affirm, and I love this one. I am love. I am love. I love that. I love that. I love that. Today, stand in front of the mirror, look yourself in the eyes, and say, I love you 3 times, right? I am love, and I love you. Repeat that mantra this week. That is the message of the week. With the full moon, maybe we're going to release and let go of not loving ourselves. We're gonna embrace loving ourselves with full moon and this week, and we're gonna start that trend. And I'm gonna get that going in a second. So if you are a brand ambassador, I'd like to welcome you to the team. We're gonna stop where we're at right this second. If you have a code, you are a brand ambassador. We will do round 2 brand ambassadors in maybe another 2 weeks. So we will add some folks at that point to see if the program is working or not, to see how it's panning out. It is all about going out, making conversations, meeting people where they are, I will be back tomorrow morning for I'm coming. Yeah, I will be back tomorrow morning for Wake and Bake. And tomorrow morning, Wake and Bake, I got some stuff I'm gonna tell y'all about. Some cool stuff we're doing, some opportunities, that kind of thing. Some nonsense. We'll be waking and baking. Right now, I'm getting ready to go get off of here and eat because eat some meat. Because look at that piece of that London broil my husband just brought me. It looks about dang on perfect. So on that note, y'all spend some time loving yourself this week. Spend some time connecting with your village this week. It takes a village. If you got kids at home, many hands make light work. If you need somebody, reach out. It takes a village. We are building an intentional community and we are here to be of assistance. If you need us, reach out. If you have something that's going on, don't live in your chaos alone. Know that maybe you can't. We might put our energy shields up, right? We might say we're going to hold space, but we can at least hold space for you, right? That's what we can offer here. We can offer a safe space to where your sphere of influence, this space is safe and there's no chaos, right? So come back to the fold. Come back and get yourself rooted in the garden. We'll get the free shield put on, but we are going to harvest some new family members. We're going to plant some more seeds, and we're going to keep the power of one going forward as we always do. Now that I said all that to say all this, I'm trying to hide these. Hide. Okay. And I want to say this. I love each and every one of you. Thank you again for a beautifully blessed birthday week. Thank you for showing up hours later than when my live was scheduled. Thank you for just being you. If nobody else has told you today, I love you. You are beautiful. You're perfect just the way you are. I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight on my Sunday night sermon. And on that note, Hometown will be signing off with a little peace, love, and feast. And as always, y'all, stay elevated. I love you.